Well, the next question, what should we do to protect ourselves during the outbreak?
We um, we should have a healthy habit, like we have a healthy diet, wash our hands regularly, use medicine or some ways to increase our immune system. Drink water regularly and do exercise every day. And yes, and always awareness of protect ourselves from the disease, from disease. Like do not, we should not go to the crowded places to, yeah, and we protect ourselves before go out under the sun. Maybe we avoid to go to crowded places. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so there's some phrases like have a healthy habit, build. It's better, improved version maybe is build. It's better to build healthy habits.
Yes, build healthy habit.
Yeah, and to have a healthy diet, no, to eat a healthy diet.
Eat a healthy diet, yes.
Yeah. Okay, to eat a healthy diet and increase our immune system. It's okay. You can also say boost, boost, increase, both of them. So boost can be used as increase, like to improve boost, of course, so it's your choice. Use medicine, no, take medicine. Use medicine or some way, yeah, or use, you can say this, take medicine or use other ways. This one is better, okay? Or use other ways. And drink water. Drink water regularly. That is good, but you can also say stay hydrated. This one.
Hydrated,
Yeah,
yes.
of course, stay hydrated. Do exercise is good, very good. Workout is better. Workout means, yeah, of course. And be aware and protect ourselves. Yes, stay aware so we can protect ourselves. Stay aware so we can protect ourselves. So,
stay aware, so stay aware so we can protect ourselves.
yeah. And should not go to the crowded places. Should avoid crowded places. Should avoid crowded places.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, and this one. Yeah. Let's talk about a disease that you think is the most dangerous one, what it is, how you know about it, how dangerous it is, and explain its effects on our lives and how to protect ourselves from it.
Talk about a disease that you think is the most important. The disease that affect directly to people.
Directly, just, two people affect people, okay, directly affect people, two people now, yes.
Directly affect people,
People, of course, not two, yeah, we don't use two. Yeah, you can directly, indirectly, so let's see.
Cancer is a disease, or HIV is a disease,
Of course it is. Of course it is really serious, of course.
Heart attack is a disease.
What is this?
Heart attack.
Heart attack. Yeah, of course it's a kinda. Yeah, of course it is.
So I think the heart attack is the most dangerous. It causes so many people. It caused a fatal, a numbers of fatal.
Fatal?
Fatal, yes. And I think the
but
most
fatal is an adjective, you know it. So let's change it, I think.
Yeah, I think the most dangerous is a heart attack now at this time. The second, maybe a diabetes. Diabetes is the second. Is the second disease cause a lot of death. Yeah. I would like to talk about heart attack. It's caused from the blood in our blood. When we have blood pressure and it is dangerous because it's block the it's dangerous because our blood is blocked. And it caused I just know that it's dangerous.
Yeah, okay. So actually, yeah, of course. High blood pressure, yeah, it leads to it, yeah, of course. Yeah, it like when something blocks the blood flow to the heart, you mean it's like block, like yeah, this one you mean. Okay, heart attack. So first of all, let's talk about them one by one. So like heart attack, so itself, it's not a disease, but you know that it's like a medical emergency, but the result, actually, it can result from a disease. So it's really dangerous, yes. So it can be a medical emergency, okay? Because it's not something like disease, like flu, like cold, okay? Like cancer, okay? But it's, yeah, it can result from a disease. So this is the first one. And you talked about it. Yeah, I would like to talk about heart attack. Yeah, of course, that was good. And it caused by blockage. Okay, so let me write it here. This one.
Cost.
Yeah.
Blockage.
Blockages in
This.
the blood vessels. Yeah, of course. When the vessels are blocked. Yeah. And someone who has high blood pressure, so it can be really dangerous because it, you know, like restricts blood flow to the heart. So it's blood pressure restricts
Restrict.
blood, blood flow, okay, to the heart. Yeah. And if blood can't reach the heart, of course, it can lead to heart attack. So if blood can't reach the heart, of course, it can lead to a heart attack. Yes. And it's dangerous. Yeah. And the meaning of blockage here, like something that blocks or stops movement of blood. I mean here, blood vessel, you know that, and high blood pressure that you can use, and restrict, like to limit it, to reduce it.
Limit, reduces.
Of course, reduce and limit.
Limits. Okay, reduce. Mean reduce or limit. Reduce. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And this one. Do you think that the healthcare system in Vietnam is strong enough to handle the outbreak?
Yes. I think the healthcare system in Vietnam is strong enough to handle the outbreak. In some of I think healthcare system in Vietnam is better than before, and now we can control the disease outbreaks, and we still try to improve the healthcare system day by day by the help from the governments and from other countries. And now we are provided the best service than before. And we're proud of the healthcare system in Vietnam. We have a lot of good, very good doctors and experts in health care. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So, how to start? Yeah, you'll answer how to begin. When it comes, so you can start it this way. When it comes to outbreaks, I think my country or Vietnam's healthcare system is maybe much better than it used to be. So I want you to actually use another structure, much better than it used to be. Better than it used to be. So this one is better. Of course, we've been able to control disease, and of course, we're still working to improve the actually healthcare system every day with support from the government and other countries. By the help No, with support from the government and other countries. So this one is better. Okay, so the healthcare services are much better than before now, and we're proud of how far Vietnam's actually healthcare system has come. So this one is better. You said that we're proud of the healthcare system, but I can say that we're proud of how far the system has come. So we're proud of how far the system has come. Improved, yeah. So this one is better. Very good doctors, skilled doctors, top healthcare experts. So we have skilled doctors and, for example, top healthcare experts. So this way you can make your answer better, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, keep going. And advanced discussion. So number one, let's see. Do you agree that sufficient education and awareness plays an important role in protecting yourself from the disease? And do you think scientists will one day wipe out all disease?
Yes. I definitely agree that sufficient education and awareness plays an important role in protect ourselves from the disease. We learned how to protect ourselves and the member of family from the disease. Now we have much better. Our life is much better than we were than we used to be. So it plays an important role in protect ourselves. And I think The scientists will one day wipe out,
Wipe out, of course.
wipe out, yeah. I think scientists will one day wipe out all diseases, and I hope that.
I hope so. I hope so. Very good, of course.
Yeah.
So, wipe out, like remove something, get rid of something completely. Okay. Yes, both proper, as you said, proper education and awareness play a key role. A key role. So you repeated sufficient education and awareness. So proper education and
Proper education. Sufficient.
yeah, proper. They're the same, okay? And awareness play a key role, very important role, yeah? In protecting us from disease, yes. We've learned how to keep ourselves and our family safe. So this one is better. And now, of course, our lives are much better than they used to be. Yes, very good. That's why education is so important, of course, when it comes to like staying healthy, when it comes to staying healthy. Yeah. And yeah, maybe one day, so we will get rid of all these disease. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. Well, okay. This one. Okay, done. Okay, so we finished this topic and it's time to start a new one. So let's move on to the new topic. If there is no question, let's keep going.
Question.
Okay. Well, let's see what we have. Okay, this one. Yeah, Mother Earth. Yeah. I don't know, like, have you ever thought about, I don't know, the theory of living on other planets?
No. I love the Earth. I love this
Yeah,
planet. I don't want to move to another one.
please. Do you think one day we will?
Yes.
Yes, you
But
think we
when
will or no?
but I think many years, million years or thousand years later, when I pass away.
Oh, no.
So
No
maybe
way.
my grandchildren will come to another to live in another planet.
Yeah. So just first, let's notice that is really important. For planets, any surface we don't use in at all. On. We on. Okay, we live on. Of course we can't live in a planet. So yeah, so someday, so you said 1,000 or even million years from now, you can say someday, someday. Yeah,
Yes.
someday maybe, yeah, maybe 1,000 or even a million years after I'm gone. I'm gone. This one, I don't want to say, but okay, if you want to say I'm gone, is yeah. Maybe my grandchildren could end up living on, I don't know, just new planets, another planets.
When I'm gone.
Yeah. End up. I love this phrase. We normally use it. End up. What is this? Yeah, of course. Finally do something. Finally, I don't know, become or do. So, for example, I started something, but I ended up teaching. Okay, so this is end up. For example, I started, I don't know, science, but finally I ended up teaching English. That is, I became a teacher. You know, finally I became a teacher. Okay, get it? So end up means finally do something or finally become something. Yeah. So, and pass away is, you know, that it's just, you know, I'm gone, maybe. Our grandchildren, yeah, might live on another planet. So who knows?
End up is finally become something.
Yeah.
I end up. I end up a pianist. I
I
mean,
end.
now I'm a teacher, but I end up. That means I've become to be a pianist.
Okay, so what you want to say?
I want to use the end up. I make a sentence with end up.
Okay, so of course, so you want to say that I've ended up a pianist. I've ended up a pianist. So I used to be a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher.
I want to
Yeah.
be a teacher.
So of course, so you want to say that. So you want to use, for example, I'm a teacher now, but I ended up became a pianist. So you mean this, a
Yes.
pianist? So yes, you can use this way. Yeah. So for example, I'm a teacher now, but I ended up becoming a pianist. Okay, pianist. So this one. So I started, for example, this way, make it better. I started as a teacher, but I ended up becoming, just don't forget, after ended up, we need something. Okay, we like verb, becoming a, you know, a pianist. So that is important. Yeah. So it means I started as a teacher, but I ended up becoming a pianist. It means you didn't plan it, but of course you did it. Yeah.
I ended up.
Yeah.
Ended a past.
Of
Past.
course. Yeah.
Past.
For example, I got lost, okay, and ended up in a remote island. So on a remote island or a small village. Okay, so that is something that happened finally.
I got lost. And
I ended up in a small village.
in small village.
Yeah. Or for example, I studied, I don't know, math, but I ended up working in fashion. Just after ended up, work, the verb is ing form, okay?
I studied math, but I ended up working in
Of course.
in art.
Yeah.
Ended up, yes. Working in art. Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay. The first word of this lesson is settlement.
Settlement.
Okay, yeah.
A place where
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
come to
Oh,
live.
just sorry, before I forget, because that's really important. So because you asked me about end up, that is really important. So as I told you, after end up, you need to use verb ing form. If
Yes.
you're sure that I want to use just a noun, or I don't know. Sometimes you're like, okay, what verb should I use now? You don't know, and you only have a noun, like a teacher, like a doctor. Okay, how to make it correct? So correctly. For example, you can say, I ended up as a teacher. This one is better. Okay, so if you don't know what verb you use, sometimes it happens. I don't know, you're like, I don't know. So the natural way is becoming a teacher, okay? Ended up becoming, but sometimes it's like, natural, but it's a little formal, okay, slightly formal. You can say, I ended up as a teacher. As is a good word that can help you here, okay? But
Yes.
when you say ended up, of course, if you say end up a teacher, we understand because it's casual. It's less formal. You can say, so I would go for as a teacher, okay? Then if you have no other choice, if you say teacher, it's okay. But the corrected version is another one, okay? But you can also say, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's see. So, for example, I hated school, but I ended up a teacher. This is good. Okay. Just very casual, conversational, casual. Okay. The first word of this session is settlement. Yeah, what is the meaning of it? You can see the explanation first of all, as I always do. I want to say if it's common in American daily English or no. Yes, settlement is especially in business, especially in legal and just historical. So we use it, context, we use it a lot. So the best synonym is agreement. So, for example, as I told you, settlement, it has actually different. Like here, that is so actually, it's like a village or community, a place where people come to live or the process of settling in such place. So let's see, this has different meanings. So here, okay, could you please read the example?
My friends believe that space exploration is the first step of establishing a settlement on another planet.
Yeah.
My friends believe that space
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
exploration is the first step of
Yeah.
establishing a settlement on
Yeah.
the another planet. Oh,
Okay. So let's talk about different meaning. That is really important because we use it a lot. Okay. That is really important. In certain contexts, settlement can be actually used as a small community, like colony. People will live together, maybe a small village, a town. Okay, so settlement can be a place where people have established a community and live together, especially when it's a new one. For example, the first settlement was established over 200 years ago. The first settlement, okay? But more common, more common. The word settlement is a legal agreement, so that is really important. Yes, settlement is really common. Place, depending on the context, and legal agreement. So community or agreement. Just be careful because in different contexts, it can have different meaning. For example, this town is near an old settlement from the 1800s. It's near an old settlement, community, colony. Okay? But which one is widely used? Legal agreement. So this is the way that you can use it. Okay. Well, and get it? Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Well, for example, let me actually make another example. So how to say that, as I told you, you can use it as an agreement, okay? For example, the two companies, okay, reached a settlement after negotiation, okay? So this is agreement. This one is really common, but also place.
Yes.
Well, the second one, that is backfire. So what is the meaning of backfire? Again, in daily conversation, we use it. Best synonym, fail. To have the opposite result from the one you intended. Like go wrong, when something goes wrong.
When something goes wrong, to have the opposite result from the one you intended. Backfire, you mean?
Yeah, fail, go wrong. Fail, let me change the color because white is not clear here. Okay, fail or go wrong. For example,
Go wrong. Yeah.
for example, you know, I had a lot of plans to impress my new boss, but of course, I arrived late and my plans totally backfired, went wrong. So this is how we use it. Or could you please read this one?
The way media promoted Greta Thunberg, the Swedish environmental activist, seemed to backfire and make a majority of people attack her on the internet.
Unfortunately, it went wrong. So go wrong. Wow. In casual, this is really good actually. I like it because in actually conversation we use it. I like this word backfire. It's good. We commonly use it. Yeah. So go wrong. Another synonym you can use.
Backfire is common.
Yes, it's common. Of course. Yeah.
Use.
So I try to give you if the word is common, we normally use it in everyday conversation or no, this one, yes. Another one, as I told you, settlement, yes, but settlement normally used, actually this one is more common, in business and legal agreements. So this is actually more common. But about place, yes, we also use backfire. Is really common. We use it especially in conversation. We use it. And we also have go wrong that I like it too. It's really good that I like. Well, the next one is thaw. Thaw. Melt. Yeah, melt. Melt something frozen. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, of course, like ice melting. Change from a solid frozen state to be to a liquid or soft one because of an increase in temperature. Melt or this one, yeah.
Changes from the solid frozen state. Yes. Melt.
Yeah.
Due to
For
global
example,
warming.
yeah, for
Due to
example, yeah,
global
I'm so
warming, scientists are afraid that Arctic permafrost
permafrost.
is thawing more rapidly.
Yeah.
Permafrost.
Permafrost, of course. That is actually like soil or rock. Okay, that is ground. Okay. But this ground, because Arctic ground is ice, you know that. You know that? So it's a kind of soil frozen. Okay, for example, a kind of soil that is frozen and remains frozen for many years. So this is, for example, Arctic, okay, or high mountain areas, okay? So we say permafrost, frost, because it's like, you know, it's frozen. Soil is frozen for many years. So this is actually, so I want to give you a good synonym for it. Frozen ground.
Frozen
Ground. Yes. Well, so we were talking about thought, but in daily conversation, how to use it. Okay, for example, I want to make something for lunch, so let the meat thaw before cooking. Let the meat thaw before cooking. And let me say something. We can also use a different context. For example, after the meeting, relations between the two countries began to thaw. You know, just ease up. You can to like soften, so you can use it in different sentences. But general meaning, melt, soften, warm up.
Soften, warm up, yeah.
Of course. Well, okay, yeah, it's obvious that infrastructure has been a central factor of Vietnam's fast-paced economic development. So, foundation, basic, simple word. And in some contexts, especially in business facilities. So it depends. So we can say foundation in some contexts, facilities.
The basic system and services such as transport and power supplies that the countries or organization use in order to work effectively. Foundation.
Of course. So what is that? Because good infrastructure is key to economic growth, good facilities, good foundation, okay?
Yes, facility. It's obvious. It is obvious that infrastructure has been a central factor of Vietnam's fast-paced economic development.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me say, for example, when you say the meaning of this, so when say good infrastructure is actually really important, especially to economic growth or development. So what I mean, so roads, bridges, electricity, water, okay? So they're very important. So this is the meaning of infrastructure here, okay? So that is like a strong public system, modern facilities here, man, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next one, legacy. Legacy is, yeah, in emotional, especially motivational, we use it a lot. Like heritage. Heritage is a good synonym, of course. Like something actually handed down from past. Something comes from like tradition is legacy. Achievement is legacy. Yeah. So legacy, like a heritage. For example, she left behind a powerful legacy of kindness, leadership, like this. Art, for example, his painting, his art is a lasting legacy of his creative vision. This one, another one. And my grandma always told that the biggest legacy, heritage of human for the next generation should be to share love with each other. Yes. So especially we use legacy in emotional and motivational context. Of course, we can use it in legal, but like this one is more common. Yeah.
Legacy of humans. The next generation should be to share love with each other.
Yeah. This is what we give. Yeah. What we actually leave behind for next generation. And okay, here let's make some sentences. Let's see if you can.
The legacy of my family is education.
The legacy of my family is, but I say, if I were you, I would say education is the legacy of my family. So,
Education.
Yeah.
My.
Of course. Education is the legacy of my family. This one is better. This is more natural.
Educations is legacies of my family.
Yeah, of course. And now I want to give you another structure, how to use it. For example, you can say, in my family, education has always been our legacy. This is, just smooth one. So in my family, education has always been our legacy. This one is so smooth and I like it. It comes from your heart. Okay.
In my family, education has always been legacy.
Our legacy. Yeah, I like this one. But both are correct. Which one you want to use? It's your choice.
Yes.
The next one.
Infrastructure. Infrastructure. With is the infrastructures in Vietnam is much better than before. Than it used to be.
I like this story. Yeah, great. That is really good. It sounds more common. Okay. So could you please say again?
The infrastructures in Vietnam is much better than it was used to be.
Okay, it used to be. Okay, let's make it better now. Okay, let's make it better now.
Okay.
So the infrastructure in my country now is much better than it used to be. Okay, yes. So it's good. Okay, you can say, but you can say Vietnam's, okay, infrastructure, that is casual, conversational, is way better than it used to be. I like it. Or the infrastructure in Vietnam has improved a lot over the years. Like this, you mean this, you mean. So if I were you, I would say, if you want to make a natural, like in a conversational, you can say Vietnam's, okay, infrastructure is way better. So way better. Way better than it used to be. Now it's better, okay? Or the infrastructure in Vietnam has improved, okay, a lot, or has improved over the years. Way better means much better. Informal, that is conversation. Yeah, of course.
Is
Yeah.
way better.
Yeah, way better, it means much better, but this one is informal, way better. Okay, for example, my new phone is way better than my old one. Much better.
And you said that Vietnam's infrastructure has improved through?
No, I said I said the infrastructure in Vietnam has improved a lot.
Has improved a
Over
lot.
the years. Yeah, over the years. Yeah. So
Over
this
the
is real. For example, this version is appropriate one for natural speaking and writing. So you can use for both of them if you want to write something, if you want to talk. But the first one, Vietnam's infrastructure is way better. This is informal, conversational.
Yes.
Okay. The next one.
So, sometimes when I have a short time, I didn't thaw the food before cooking.
That was really good. I don't. So first of all, you can say I didn't because you say sometimes. Yeah, of course. So
I don't.
let's see. It was really nice though. Okay, sometime when I'm short on time, I'm short on time. I have a short time now. I'm short on time. I don't have time. I'm short on time, of course. I don't thaw the food before cooking. I don't thaw the food before cooking. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Now, if you want to make it more casual, like, you know,
Yeah.
just this is another phrase. You want to say that I'm short on time. That's just conversational. I'm in a rush. When I'm in a rush, yeah, of course, I skip. This is informal, casual. So I say, when I'm in a rush, what is this letter Z? Just let me, okay, when I'm in a rush, okay. The rest of it say, yeah, of course. You can say, for example, I skip thawing.
Skip drawing.
Thawing. Okay. For example, I skip thawing, I don't know, the food, or for example, the meat or everything. I skip. So this is more casual form.
Yes, thank you.
Actually, you mean if I want to simplify it. When you don't have time, you just cook something straight from freezer. That is your sentence. That is your answer. Okay. The next one, backfire.
Backfire, fail or go wrong. Our sale campaign our sales campaign backfire and it cost a lot. It cost us a lot. That means I gave a wrong strategy in sales, and it failed, and it cost me a lot.
First, you said our sales campaign. You mean campaign? Campaign, of course. Okay. So you can say, okay, yes, our sales campaign backfired. And it, yeah, do you remember end up? And it ended up costing us a lot. Ended up, finally, we needed to pay a lot. So it ended up costing us a lot. Yeah. You can say that, yeah, actually you can say that basically the sales strategy I came up with something that actually came to my mind, didn't work out, and it totally failed. You mean this. So our sales campaign just backfired and it ended up costing us a lot. Basically, the sales strategy I came up with didn't work out and it totally failed. Didn't work out means didn't succeed. Didn't work out means didn't succeed. I tried actually a new advertising approach, but it didn't work out. It didn't succeed. Didn't go as planned.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Backfire. Settlement. After an hour meeting, we finally have a settlement.
after our meeting, we finally, so here the problem is like with tense, first of all, that is really important how to use, because you need to decide whether you're using present or past, okay? After, for example, you can say this way. After an hour, for example, long meeting, after our meeting, we finally reached a settlement. This is past, okay? Because, yeah, this is more natural, okay?
After a meeting,
Yeah.
we
reached a settlement, yeah.
We reached a settlement.
This one is better.
bridge, a settlement. Yes.
Okay. Well, so let's keep going with, let's see. Okay, just one moment. I need to share the video. What would, okay, happen if every human suddenly disappeared? It would be great. Look
Great.
at this. For animals, for animals.
For everyone, it's great.
Yeah, it was for animals, of course, like they could live easily on the earth. But yeah, okay. What would happen if every human suddenly so scary? Disappeared is so scary. Okay, let's watch. Are you ready? Let's watch it together.
Human beings are everywhere. With settlements on every continent, we can be found in the most isolated corners of Earth's jungles, oceans, and tundras. Our impact is so profound, most scientists believe humanity has left a permanent mark on Earth's geological record. So what would happen if suddenly every human on Earth disappeared? With no one maintaining them, some of our creations backfire immediately. Hours after we disappear, oil refineries malfunction, producing month-long blazes at plants like the ones in Western India, the southern United States, and South Korea. In underground rail systems like those in London, Moscow, and New York City, hundreds of drainage pumps are abandoned, flooding the tunnels in just 3 days. By the end of the first week, most emergency generators have shut down, and once the fires have gone out, the Earth goes dark for the first time in centuries. After the first catastrophic month, changes come more gradually. Within 20 years, sidewalks have been torn apart by weeds and tree roots. Around this time, flooded tunnels erode the streets above into urban rivers. In temperate climates, the cycle of seasons freezes and thaws these waterways, cracking pavement and concrete foundations. Leaking pipes cause the same reaction in concrete buildings, and within 200 winters, most skyscrapers buckle and tumble down. In cities built in river deltas like Houston, these buildings eventually wash away completely, filling nearby tributaries with crushed concrete. Rural and suburban areas decay more slowly, but in largely unsurprising ways. Leaks, mold, bug, and rodent infestations, all the usual enemies of the homeowner, now go uncontested. Within 75 years, most houses' supporting beams have rotted and sagged, and the resulting collapsed heap is now home to local rodents and lizards. But in this post-human world, local has a new meaning. Our cities are full of imported plants, which now run wild across their adopted homes. Water hyacinth coat the waterways of Shanghai in a thick green carpet. Poisonous giant hogweeds overgrow the banks of London's Thames River. Chinese ailanthus trees burst through New York City streets. And as sunken skyscrapers add crumbled concrete to the new forest floor, the soil acidity plummets, potentially allowing new plant life to thrive. This post-human biodiversity extends into the animal kingdom as well. Animals follow the unchecked spread of native and non-native plants, venturing into new habitats with the help of our leftover bridges. In general, our infrastructure saves some animals and dooms others. Cockroaches continue to thrive in their native tropical habitats, but without our heating systems, their urban cousins likely freeze and die out in just 2 winters. And most domesticated animals are unable to survive without us, save for a handful of resourceful pigs, dogs, and feral house cats. Conversely, The reduced light pollution saves over 1 billion birds each year, whose migrations were disrupted by blinking communication tower lights and high-tension wires. And mosquitoes multiply endlessly in one of their favorite man-made nurseries, rubber tires, which last for almost 1,000 years. As fauna and flora flourish, Earth's climate slowly recovers from millennia of human impact. Within 35,000 years, the plant cycle removes the last traces of lead left by the Industrial Revolution from Earth's soil, and it may take up to 65,000 years beyond that for CO2 to return to pre-human levels. But even after several million years, humanity's legacy lives on. Carved in unyielding granite, America's Mount Rushmore survives for 7.2 million years. The chemical composition of our bronze sculptures keeps them recognizable for over 10 million. And buried deep underground, the remnants of cities built on floodplains have been preserved in time as a kind of techno-fossil. Eventually, these traces too will be wiped from the planet's surface. Humanity hasn't always been here, and we won't be here forever. But by investigating the world without us, perhaps we can learn more about the world we live in now. If you're looking for a page-turning tour of a post-human Earth, we highly recommend The World Without Us.
Well, what will happen? Okay, so what would happen? What do you think? Yeah. So, yeah, of course, it's like, in simple word, simple speaking, so everything will destroy, would ruin, and just maybe new creatures, maybe just, some animals, of course, would die because they actually couldn't live without us, and just some new ones, just, maybe species and types of animals would just live on the earth. And of course, the earth just would go back to before human era. That is, yeah. Okay, so tell me what. Okay, okay, just let me see if. So what would happen if every human suddenly disappears? So tell me, what do you think?
No one protects our planet. No one looks after the planet. And as you said, the planet will be back to millions years before human eras. And the planet is full of insects and animals, but many kinds of animals will be gone because no one take care of them. And the infrastructure will be ruined.
Wood. Yeah, wood, because we were talking about something imaginary, so wood, of course. So yeah.
Ruined. And the weather would be changed. The climate will be changed. The plants and trees could be wild, would be rainforest.
Yeah.
I think it's better if we are disappear. If we will be disappeared.
Yeah.
The planets will be
Yeah. Would
originate.
be, yeah, in some aspect, of course, humans, yeah, of course. So because, of course, so I just typed some words that we heard. So the first one, catastrophic. Catastrophic, that is something disastrous, like devastating, okay? So for example, yeah, it would have catastrophic effects on the planet Earth.
It's better
What?
for the planet.
No, first,
Yes.
yeah, of course, because just think about, the word heap. What is the meaning of it? Just pile of garbage, plastic. And you know that what will happen. So everything maybe would erode. What is that? Just, like break down, like destroy, slowly destroy. So yes, but finally, yeah, of course, with, maybe there would be air quality and green spaces, no actually plants, no greenery. So like, of course, it would be finally, but it takes time, because actually yeah, human had, we can say that had really catastrophic effect on the Earth, planet Earth. So because of this, it takes maybe million years to get rid of this negative effect, and then to actually turn into just maybe before human, so pre-human era. So yes, it takes time, but finally the result, I think, yeah, it wouldn't be negative, really negative. Yeah, it's like wild, and but it's a little scary. I don't know, like when you think about it. Okay, let's see. Let's discuss the positive and negative impact that human made on Earth. Oh, what is positive? Nothing. So nothing.
Can you show the screen?
Oh, I'm not sharing. I'm sorry. I was like, I was typing on the word, and yeah. Okay, you can see I typed the words here, and okay.
Negative impact. Human made on Earth. Positive and negative impact. The positive, preserve our environment. Governments take action to preserve wildlife for the sake and ecological balance. Construct national parks to protect endangered species. Raise people's awareness, introduce to knowledge about importance and values. Education has long-term effect on the process. Recreate green and open spaces. Efforts to do reforestation, fill up empty spaces with trees. Volunteer projects for people to plant trees in their area. Yes, that's some positive impact. The humans preserve the environment and preserve wildlife.
For the sake of means for the purpose of, for this purpose, for this reason.
For the sake is for the purpose.
Purpose of course.
For the sake of.
Just, that is like for the benefits, for the purpose, yeah.
Purpose. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we recreate. We recreate green and open spaces before to reforestation. To do reforestation, yes, maybe. Yeah, we can plant more trees and recreate green spaces.
Actually, we have, I'm thinking about it. It's like efforts to do reforestation. I think actually the problem with human is with deforestation, not reforestation. Deforestation means cutting down trees in
Yeah.
order to use them, yeah, of course, to make some wooden products. So that is actually, we are, you know, that we have logging industry. What is logging industry? It's like cutting down trees for some different, of course, reasons. So logging industry and, of course, deforestation. Yeah, so what is, so first we destroy something, we destroy forests and jungles, and then we try to actually save it again. So, or first we build just houses, buildings, I don't know, industrial areas, and then we try to have more green spaces. Like, it's so funny. So I think human being is so dangerous. Yeah.
And we kill the animals, so we preserve the
Yeah, of
wildlife.
course. Yeah, of course. That is so. Yeah, we kill them, we hunt them, we use their, I don't know, skin, fur, meat, and then we decide to, okay, just, you know, preserve wildlife, environment. And we, I don't know, just we pollute the air every day. And then we decide to, okay, take some actions, better environment. So that's so funny.
And so
Yeah.
we don't do anything positive
I think so.
for the
I think so.
yes, but
I
and
think
we
so.
just we just we just correct our mistake.
Yeah, of course. We try to correct. Actually, we make something and then we try to correct it. So it's not positive action, actually.
Yeah.
If we can, you know, the problem is here. We can't. We are not able to correct what we've done. Like, you
We
know,
just
it's not possible. So now look at the air. So we are living different countries. Air pollution, noise pollution, garbage, rubbish. I don't know, just, you know, wildlife, killing animal, hunting them. So, and then just, you know, some people, I don't know, protest in the street to say, okay, save the environment. So what is this? So how, how we can, oh God, it's so human being.
correct.
Yeah, so weird. Well, okay, we have some questions left, so we skip them. And tomorrow we discuss, of course. Let's think about them, and then, of course, we will discuss them one by one. Okay, so that's it. Just have a great, wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, thank
And
you.
see you tomorrow. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Bye, thank you.
Goodbye. You're welcome. Goodbye.